Gear down and locked. Touchdown.
The successful home improvement mission of STS-126 concluded Sunday with the safe landing of Space Shuttle Endeavour at Edwards Air Force Base, California. Weather concerns prevented the crew from returning to the Kennedy Space Center, Florida, the primary end-of-mission landing site. The 16-day mission that included 4 spacewalks made important repairs to the International Space Station and prepared the orbiting complex to double its crew from 3 to 6 next spring. Endeavour also brought up new ISS crew member Sandy Magnus and returned Greg Shamatov to Earth. NASA's Dawn spacecraft is gliding towards a February flyby of Mars. Dawn recently shut down its ion propulsion system after gaining the thrust needed to use the red planet's gravity to guide the spacecraft toward its ultimate destination, the asteroid belt. That's where Dawn's expected to begin its exploration of the asteroid Vesta in 2011 and the dwarf planet Ceres in 2015.
We've only used about 168 pounds of propellant, and yet that's enough to accelerate the spacecraft by more than 4,000 miles per hour. We just finished thrusting November 20th, and that put us on course, so the spacecraft is headed for exactly where it needs to go in order to fly by Mars to get the gravity assist that will then help send it on to Vesta.
Astronomers and scientists hope Dawn's orbits of Vesta and Ceres will help them better understand the origins of the universe. For more about Dawn's 8-year, 3 billion-mile mission, visit www.nasa.gov/Dawn. The finalists for the landing site of NASA's next mission to Mars have been selected. 4 locations for the Mars Science Laboratory that'll set down on the red planet have been chosen by project leaders following input from international Mars experts and engineers. The sites are Eberswalde, where an ancient river deposited a delta in a possible lake; Holden, a crater containing alluvial fans, flood deposits, possible lake beds, and clay-rich deposits; Marth, with exposed layers containing at least 2 types of clay; and Gale, with a mountain of stacked layers including clays and sulfates.
This is the first time where we have wonderful spectroscopy at high enough resolution that we can match it with the terrain. So we can point to layers and say this is where we'd want the rover to go and make its measurements.
The rover's landing site will be chosen next summer. The Mars Science Laboratory is scheduled to launch in fall 2009 on its mission to help determine whether Mars could ever have supported life. 6 headquarters employees are among those around the agency being honored for their contributions to the safety of STS-126. NASA's Space Flight Awareness Program honors some 250 employees each shuttle mission for contributing significantly to the safety of human spaceflight.
It's one of the highest honors that NASA presents to its employees and its contractors for excellence in quality and safety in support of human spaceflight.
The work of our NASA family to ensure safety and mission success it's evident because we are successful, we are safe in what we do, and it's because of the contributions of folks like you.
Spaceflight Awareness Awards include a trip to see a space shuttle launch at the Kennedy Space Center. Hundreds of people turned out to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Moffett Field, home to the Ames Research Center. Highlighting the event was the historic return of the airship, or lighter-than-air dirigible. Sunnyvale Naval Air Station, later renamed Moffett Field, was commissioned in 1933 by the government to serve as a home base for the dirigible USS Macon as part of the Navy's lighter-than-air aviation program. Later, the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, NACA, established what would eventually become the NASA Ames Research Center, adjacent to the Naval Air Station. Eureka, a 246-foot-long Zeppelin airship, will live in Moffett's Hangar 2 when not being used for aerial tours and scientific research in the Bay Area. 3 of the 12 remaining airship hangars in the U.S. are located at Moffett Field. 43 years ago in NASA history, Commander Frank Borman and pilot Jim Lovell began their almost 2-week-long mission to demonstrate manned orbital flight and investigate the physiological effects of long-duration flight on the crew. Gemini 7 also provided a rendezvous target for the Gemini 6A spacecraft. Gemini 7 set a human spaceflight endurance record that would last for 5 years. 15 years ago, the first servicing mission to the Hubble Space Telescope launched from the Kennedy Space Center. Among other accomplishments, Space Shuttle Endeavour's 7-member STS-61 crew, commanded by Dick Covey, delivered and installed what amounted to a new pair of glasses for Hubble. The Corrective Optics Space Telescope Axial Replacement Unit, COSTAR, overcame a manufacturing flaw in the telescope's primary mirror, enabling HST to clearly capture hundreds of thousands of never-before-seen images of the cosmos. And 10 years ago, Space Shuttle Endeavour headed to space again, delivering the crew of astronauts who would begin assembly of the International Space Station. STS-88 Commander Bob Cabana's 6-member crew rendezvoused with the Zarya control module and successfully attached the Unity node to provide the foundation for future station components. And that's This Week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, log on to www.nasa.gov.